Hey, what's up guys, Andy here from Krusty Plug, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. It's the lockdown day number 4 today, so it's Friday, so the weekend is upon us, but it really will make no difference whatsoever because everything and everyone is still in lockdown. So business as usual, so to speak, but I'm still here in my gaming bunker, so still surviving, so all good so far, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But in today's video I wanted to share, before I kind of put everything away in my shelves, I wanted to share my original Xbox game pickups I have managed to do over the last couple of months or so. And as far as the original Xbox goes, I do have a kind of quite a soft spot for the system. I have played quite a few games on the original Xbox. I never really bought it till kind of later years of its lifespan, so to speak, or even maybe at the very end of its lifespan. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed, so it was obviously kind of an underdog at the time because the PlayStation 2, or Sony with PlayStation 2, were dominating the market. But I think, you know, it was a good console, a powerful console for its time, and, you know, certainly had a few really good games on it. So definitely, you know, for me as a kind of completionist and games collector, I think it's a fantastic games console to collect the games for. I don't know the exact count of the games I currently have. I never counted before this video what I do have, but it's just under 100, and at one point I think I had about 140 games for the system, and then I foolishly sold about 70 games and went down to about 70, about half of it. And yeah, really regret that move, but it's one of the things, happens sometimes. But yeah, I'm trying to just kind of build up and get my hands on these games I used to have but I don't have anymore, and ultimately looking forward to expand my collection even further. And today I got a little 2 piles here. There will be some games I managed to find in my local charity shops, and then also I have some games that I have picked up from my local CX store, so I have bought some, you could say, retail, in retail, you know, or from gaming retail. So yeah, a bit of mix, you know, kind of like almost like 50-50 or about 40-60 split. So let's just dive in then and go through and see what I have as far as the original Xbox game pickups are concerned. So first of all, got Blood Omen 2. This is part of the Legacy of Kain series, and this is complete, not in the best condition, so I will be looking to replace this copy at some point, but it was $1.99 in my local charity shop, so I decided to get it anyway. The disc is a little bit scratched, but I think, glancing it over, I think it will be playable. If not, I might need to get it resurfaced or cleaned, whichever way you want to call it. Now, I would like to just briefly talk about the Legacy of Kain series. I have never properly played the original Blood Omen, or Omen, sorry, just the way I pronounce it, Blood Omen. Legacy of Kain, which was originally released on PlayStation 1, and then a year later, it was like, what was it year, the 96 I think it was, released on PlayStation 1, and then in 97 it was ported on Windows platform as well. I had it briefly on, but it wasn't even, I think, full copy. It was some sort of like a dodgy copy of like several games on a disc, and I think there was a kind of a limited gameplay of the first game, so I played it a little bit, but I never really got into it, and I never have really properly played the game and completed it. However, I did play and completed probably a few times Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, which is obviously a kind of, you could say, a sequel to the original game, because the events take about, I think it's about like 1500 years after the original game, where basically Kain is the only vampire left, and he basically kills one of his lieutenants, Raziel, and then Raziel basically goes on a kind of revenge quest, and I think the game was amazing. You know, the story, the voice acting, you know, everything I as far as I can remember was amazing really in Soul Reaver. I haven't played it for years, so I don't know how well it's aged, you know, and that's something I want to do. Actually want to do like maybe Let's Play and Legacy of Kain series, you know, kind of, well, Let's Play series basically, not to kind of to play through all the games from A to Z, but just, you know, make maybe like a half-an-hour videos or something and show the play gameplay of the games, and, you know, have a commentary running. And then I also have played Soul Reaver 2, which was kind of again the sequel to Soul Reaver, and that was on PlayStation 2. I probably didn't rate it as great as the first Soul Reaver, but I still really enjoyed it. And then Blood Omen 2 came out after the second Soul Reaver, but this is almost like a side story where this, I think, takes place about 400 years after the first Blood Omen, and it's about basically about Kain, about the vampire Kain. And then also there is the, what is called, Legacy, is it Blood Omen Defiance or something? There's another one in series. So this is the fourth game, and there's a fifth one. So I haven't played this one really, and the last game, but I have played both Soul Reavers, so I really enjoyed the games. But anyway, so I'm really kind of love the story of the series, albeit I haven't played these other games. I do really kind of love the kind of the fantasy setting and the kind of the all the setup in the game. So yeah, I'm really looking to kind of maybe go through all the games and experience them again, and experience the games I haven't played yet. So anyhow, guys, moving on. I got Atari Anthology. This seemed to be in really good condition. But I think it's like a Scandinavian release or something, because it says quick starts in Finnish and Swedish, so I don't think it's a UK release. I paid $1.99 in a charity shop, and it is actually in rather good condition. Not quite mint, but probably not far off, but yeah, really good condition. So I think actually I did have this in my collection, and it was one of these games I actually ended up selling, so I'm adding it back into my collection. Now this one here I have never heard of before, Furious Karting. It says only on Xbox. I believe this is maybe a bit rarer game and holds a bit of value, so I don't know. I think I did check it what CX were selling this at the time, and I think it was a little bit more than some other games, but I might be wrong. This also got reference to Scandinavian countries: Finland, Norway, Sweden and Denmark. So I think this is again one of the kind of European releases, but it's in English as well, so it's obviously all will be good. Again, I paid $1.99 and it's in reasonable condition. This has some very light scratches, but nothing too major, and yeah, it's in not a bad condition, so quite happy about that. But I didn't have that one at all, and I have never heard of that game, so if you guys have ever played this and you know a bit about this game, then maybe let me know down below and let me know your thoughts. So then I got two games here are from Toka Race Driver series. I got Toka Race Driver 2. And this is complete again. And price wise, I don't have a price in this, so I'm not sure exactly what I paid, but it probably was £1 or even less. And then I also got Toka Race Driver 3. I can't remember, I have played some of the games. This is complete as well, and I paid 20 pence for this, so which is fantastic pickup in a way that, you know, the game is not, I don't think this was expensive game from memory, but 20 pence is just a nice score. In reasonable condition, yeah, nice condition actually. I never checked the disc. Yeah, disc is pretty clean as well, so yeah, actually really good pickup for 20 pence only. But what I was going to say is I have played some of the games and I'm trying to remember what platform it was on, probably PlayStation 2 I'm guessing. And I kind of did enjoy this at the time, but you know, I'm not sure how well this have aged, and I might try them out at some point. Then I got 2 copies of the same game, and first of all, this is a original release, complete, and it's Rally Sport, what is it, Rally Sport 2? Rally Sport Challenge 2, I think it's meant to be. Rally Sport Challenge 2 or Rally Sport 2, whichever way you want to call it. So, this is another allegedly only on Xbox title, so I don't know history behind this, so I couldn't tell you otherwise. This is complete and I don't have a price inside, so it definitely was no more than £1 I paid for this one. And then I got, it's actually not the original Xbox case, I think it's a 360 case, and it's the same game, Rally Sport Challenge 2, but it's actually a classics disc. So I bought that as well, because I'll see if I can pick up the artwork for it and swap out the case, and then I'll have also a complete classics variant. I do tend to collect also things like, you know, classics editions, or for PlayStation like Platinum edition discs as well, so I do tend to collect them as like a subsets as well. Now got Burnout Revenge. Something tells me that this was one of the games I also had already on Xbox, but ended up selling it. But this is a complete edition, Burnout Revenge, and it's complete in pretty good condition for its age, and no price inside, so probably again I'm guessing it was no more than £1 I paid for it. This I think was expansion, an add-on pack or expansion pack, what it says, in the next chapter of Doom 3 Saga. Yeah, so this is not the main game, this is the add-on or the expansion, which of course came out as a separate release on Xbox. And I'm trying to see, you know, I got some stuff there on the floor in front. I'm trying to remember if I got this actually the base game, that's obviously Doom 3. So I've got Doom 3 here, Resurrection, well sorry, it's actually Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil. And I don't have a price, so again this was no more than £1, and it is, disc is actually, don't see any scratches, I think it's pretty much mint. Manual is in really good condition. The case itself, got a few scuffs here and there, but nothing too major, so in overall I think pretty good pickup for no more than £1. Sorry guys, need to have a sip of my tea. Okay, then I got 2 Star Wars games here. First of all, Star Wars Battlefront. Again, something tells me I might have had this before and sold it. No price, so again, probably no more than £1 I paid for it. Complete, which is nice, in really, really good condition. No major scuffs or anything, so yeah, really pleased about that. And they also got Star Wars Battlefront 2, so the second game, and that is not complete, so it's got the 2-month free trial of Xbox Live, but no manual, which is a bit of a bummer. But this got some weird kind of like tinting on it, so I'm not sure whether it's actually going to be, if it's ghost or not, but I will need to try it and see if it works. I haven't tested it, but the case is kind of okay condition, a few scuffs, but yeah, if the disc works, I'll see if I can maybe get a manual for it and complete it. Right, then we have a Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. This is another game series I haven't really played that much. I've played a few games over the years here and there. This is complete and no price, so again probably paid no more than £1. But yeah, this is a game series I would love to kind of devote some time and play. I really want to experience the Prince of Persia. I haven't really had a chance to play these games that much. I think I also got a couple games on my Ubisoft Uplay account. I think there was like some deals they were doing and giving the games away for free. I think actually the first one, this one here, which was the kind of the modern 3D, I think, game. I think this was, I got that on PC as well, and then there's one that is kind of like very cartoony looking. I can't remember. I think it just was called Prince of Persia. Then I think I got that one as well. And then I got Shark Tale. Okay, so that is complete as well. No price, so again I must have paid no more than £1 for that. This got a little bit of scratches, but nothing too major, so probably will be fine. Worst case scenario, need to resurface it. The case is kind of in okay condition as well, so again, £1 maximum, so happy with that price. Okay, so that was the first kind of half, you could say, or 60% of the games I have here, and these all games I just showed you guys came out of charity shops. And then I got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to go through quickly, and these all came out of my local CX store. First of all, bought this because I didn't have it, obviously, but also because it was in rather nice and clean condition. It was only 50p, so I was happy to pick it up, and it's NBA Live 06. And as I've been telling in previous videos quite frequently, and quite often, I don't really, I'm not really big on sports games, so I don't really, spend any money for these games if I can help it. But for 50p, and because it was in really nice condition, I was more than happy to pay that for this game. Then this one, funnily enough, I already had as part of my charity pickups, but the copy I got from charity shops was in kind of poor state. And I actually had forgotten that I have bought it out of charity shops, and I seen it in CX and decided to pick it up thinking I didn't have it. I'm actually glad I did, because this is in quite nice condition, clean condition, and it was actually a much better copy than my previous one. And it is Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Tides of War. So here we go. So this is a much nicer copy that I found in my local charity shops, and as I said, I kind of made a mistake almost, you could say, and bought it again because I had it, but I'm glad I did, because ultimately this is a far nicer copy, and I paid £2 for this, so I was quite happy to pay that price for a nice clean copy. Then I got another sports game. What was this? This was £1, so this was a little bit more than the other 50p NBA game, but this is another NBA game, and it's NBA Live 07. But again, it was a nice, clean copy, and I thought, well, £1, I'll suffer that. So, generally, of course, these Xbox games, I find them kind of less available out in the wild, so I have to start, looking into options like CX to try to fill the gaps in my collection. Then I'm trying to remember actually if I have ever properly played this in the series. This was a little bit more. This was £4, but again, a fairly clean copy, and it's Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. And I don't think I have actually ever played this. There's a few games I played in series, but I don't think it's this one here I have ever really played. I may be wrong, but I cannot really remember playing this, so I might need to check this out, whether it's on an Xbox or a PC or something, but we'll see. But again, in fairly nice condition. And this was, I think, pretty cheap. Yeah, this was 75p, and again, I picked it up because it was in rather nice condition. I didn't have it in my collection, obviously, that's the main reason I picked it up. But, well, it does have a few scuffs on the case, but nothing too major. But for 75p, I thought I'll just buy it and plug the gap in my collection. And it is The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. So that one, and it is complete with manual. well, I tend to technically, when it comes to CX, charity shops, yes, I do buy games if they don't have manuals, but in CX I do never tend to buy games without manuals. Possibly if it's extremely rare game and don't have manual, I might need to, you know, consider my options at some point. But generally with games like these I'm showing you here, I would never buy them without manual, because there's always an X deal around the corner. You know, they know that, you know, rare, and you can find them somewhere else ultimately, or you know, next day in CX, or order them online. And that's another Lord of the Rings game, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and this was £1. And yeah, the disc is good. Again, case is in really good condition. I don't think there's any scuffs on it actually, but here we go. So I've got that one, and of course it's complete. Okay, then I haven't really cleaned this up. Sticker is still on it, and it's Over the Hedge. I've never played this game. I think I might have had this in my collection as well and foolishly sold it, but anyway, I picked it up again. £4, as you can see, I paid. It's complete, but the manual is kind of a little bit creased, kind of feels a little bit tatty. Nothing too major, but yeah, so probably we'll be looking maybe just to swap it out at some point to get a minter copy. The disc in itself is actually pretty good. There's a couple little scratches, but nothing too major. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film, by the way. I watched the film at the time it came out. I watched it with my at the time rather young daughters, and when did it come out actually? Maybe it was only my oldest daughter. The youngest one maybe wasn't old enough or wasn't even born. I can't remember, but anyway, I really enjoyed it, and the kids have enjoyed it as well. So not sure about the game. Probably is nothing too major, but based on film, I will be checking it out at some point. And last but not least, we have Crush Nitro Kart. Here we go. Love Crush series. Love the character, and this is complete as well, of course. And I paid £6 for this. So that was the most expensive game from the CX batch I bought. I don't think I bought these all CX games in one day, so I think it was like 2 or 3 different trips. But anyway, that's the CX games as well there, or the games from CX. But there you have it, guys. So that's my very latest additions to my ever-growing original Xbox collection, and I hope you enjoy this. And if you have anything to say about any of these games, about anything else at all, then please, as always, do drop that comment down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so as well, which will be very, very much appreciated. And once again, thank you for joining me for today's video, and I shall see you in the next one. Take it easy.